accorgersi poi, vino bianco, fiori e vecchie canzoni, che si rideva di noi, che imbroglio era, maledetta primavera.
Ciao bambini, bentornati. Welcome back to Mr. Torcasio's Art Mania. Luna, salute ai bambini. Ciao. Today we're going to start a really exciting topic, la fotografia, photography. You probably don't realize how much of an impact photographs have in our lives and how much of a part they play in our daily lives. Today, we're going to learn about how you can make your photos more exciting and dynamic. No more just point and shoot. The materials for today's lesson are really simple. All you'll need is a device with a camera on it. So a phone or an iPad or a device like this. If you don't have one of your own, you may like to ask a grown-up if you can borrow theirs. Perhaps they can supervise you while you use it. Now, there are two main ways that we can hold our device when we're taking a photo. We can either hold it ritratto or portrait, tall ways like this, or we can hold it panorama, landscape, long ways like this. One of the most simple and common rules of photography is the rule of thirds, or la regola dei terzi. When we first go to take a photo of something, we naturally want to put the subject right in the middle of the photo. However, this is not very interesting, and it doesn't really allow for enough room for information around the subject. We've all played noughts and crosses before. Well, I'd like you to imagine when you look in the camera screen that there is a grid just like this one on the screen. The rule of thirds means that instead of putting the subject in the middle of the photo, you place the subject in any one of the thirds around the photo or the points where the thirds meet. Let's look at some examples. In this image of the butterfly is the subject, but it's not in the center of the photo. Let's put up the grid. So notice where the butterfly is in the thirds, which leaves enough space around the butterfly to show us where the butterfly is in the environment, and the picture is more interesting. Here's another example. Notice the sunflower is not in the middle of the shot. Let's put the grid up. Here you can see that it's on the side, which allows us to see the tree in the background, so we get an idea of where the sunflower is. Here's another example. I really love this one because by putting the trees, which are the subject, on the two outer thirds, we get a nice big picture of the environment the trees are in and not just of the tree itself. This one's really exciting. This one, the photographer has come from a very interesting angle. So they've taken the photo from down the bottom, but they've still put the subject in the outside thirds of the photo. Okay, so now it's time for our task, and this is really exciting. For your task, you need to take your device, and I want you to go outside. You're going to find a couple of different subjects that are spring related because it is primavera, it's time for spring. So flowers, trees, birds or butterflies might be a bit tricky because they're not going to stand still for you to take the photo. So go outside, choose whether you're going to photograph your subject using landscape or portrait, and choose an interesting angle. And then you must follow the rule of thirds. So you must place your subject around one of the thirds of the photo so that around the subject is also interesting. Let's go and take some shots. Notice how in this photo I framed the flower on the left third of the photograph. That gave me the opportunity to leave some background. This way the audience knows, for example, that this flower is in what looks like a Japanese garden. For this photograph, I came down to an unusual angle because I wanted to get the sky in the background. This allowed me to highlight not only putting the subject in the left and bottom thirds of the photo, but also the contrast between the colour of the flower and the colour of the sky. If I had centered this flowering tree in the middle of the frame with not much around it, it wouldn't be a very exciting photo. But because I chose to put it towards the bottom third of the photograph, it allowed me to get some of the background. You definitely now know that this flowering bush is in front of a playground. That was really fun. We're going to develop more of our photography skills over the next couple of weeks. Once you've taken a few photos that you're happy with, upload them so that we can see your amazing new photography skills. And remember that where you place the subject and the angle from which you take the photo can sometimes be more interesting than the subject itself. We can't wait to see the photos you take. For now, be safe. We'll see you next time. Luna, ciao ciao bambini.